first of all, I got love for that dude from my core. And to be honest, and if you ain't heard it now, is the invitation. I'm putting him on Wildin' Out. That dude is genius.
Wow.
Genius level. Now, when you're dealing with genius, you also there's a balance, you know, when we're dealing with our mental health, and you want to have artists need a great support system.
Yes.
And when you come up as a kid and you're an artist and you got genius in you, then people don't handle you with the delicate energy that you may need.
Okay.
So you can go off and veer, and like now you're just seeking attention, and you'll say whatever, just to get attention. And especially somebody giving you a couple $1,000s to say it, and I'm gonna say some more shit like that, you know, like every single time. So I see him, I see a wounded genius, you know what I mean? And like, if you just clean it, and I've done this before with people that I met, it's like, oh, you just clean this kid up a little bit. Yeah, and also you see him seeking, you see him constantly going back to the church, you see him trying to be a good father. You see, like, the dude is a brilliant dude, but he also knows how to play this internet game.
Yes.
And if he say somebody's name here, or he do this, and then when he see you, like, what's up, man? You know what I mean? Like, but so I could never get mad at somebody like that. Now, who I got mad at was, and I got mad at the system. You know what I mean? That a headline like that could go viral. Cause I mean, I think and it was hilarious. Like he was like in a Target or a Kmart or something, and he's on the phone, he's like, NickCannon? Yeah, Nick be sucking dick.
Oh, Lord.
And he just,
y'all don't know if I could have took the house with that with Nick.
It was hilarious. But the unfortunate thing is because there is such a seriousness in this industry and in the world with things like adults and people in power taking advantage of young kids.
That is correct.
So we want to believe everything that he says, whether he's joking, whether he's doing it for the clicks. You want to respect anybody that says something like that. But then after the 80th time, and he talking about Bow Wow got bombed, all that, so I was like, all right, he wilding a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's some truth into the world in which he's talking about.
Right.
So when he's talking about adults taking advantage of children for opportunities, look at the world that we're living in now, to where it's going all over the place, to where you don't know what to believe.
Correct.
So you got to give him the respect as a young man who, since he was 5, 6 years old, on sets, carrying himself. But then you also see what he's doing and see how he maneuvers. And I feel like at the core, it's just mental health. And I think the media has a responsibility to handle people with mental health or mental health issues. In a specific way, you know what I mean? And so that's where I went to. I was like, man, I got love for this dude. I don't really know him like that. You know, we cross paths.
But I'm willing to help him.
But whatever I got to do. And I feel like a platform like Wildin' Out is perfect for somebody. And clearly, the brother is hilarious. He can sing, he can act. He's been doing it, you know,
basically his
whole life. It's just like, all right, how do we shape this and give him, you know, the tools that he needs to succeed in this space and not just be on such a low frequency.
I think the thing is, Nick, is that people look like, man, yeah, I understand that he might be going through something, but the people at Bow Wow probably say, well, why you got to use my name? Some people like, whoa, how I get thrown in it?
Yeah, to me, like, that's what I've never, it didn't bother me. I thought it was hilarious. I'm a comedian first, so if you say something funny, I'm going to laugh. Now, like, they've said way worse shit on Wildin' Out. You know what I mean? So, but the fact that I think people really want to believe him, and because of all of these conspiracies that are going on, they're like, it got to be some truth to that.
At the start of every new year, I set my goals. I tell myself this year I'm eating right, I'm working out, I'm working hard, staying on track. Then reality hits. Work, travel, cravings, distractions. Life just loves to test your focus. I've been there. I've fallen off, but I don't stay down because Amazon helps bring me back up every time. Amazon is here to make sticking to your goals easier. From healthy snacks I need to workout gear I like to have on hand, all of my everyday essentials are available to purchase in one place. Not to mention, I can get it delivered fast so I don't have to worry about making a trip to the store and adding to my already busy schedule. Great prices, no running around, no extra hassle. Now that's convenient. So when life tries to steer you off track, Amazon can help get you back to the plan, focus on your goals, and stay on your grind. Save every day with essentials from Amazon.
But I think there's levels to it. I think, you know, he has some great wisdom. He's been through some real shit in life, and he's being entertaining with it.
Right.
So then you're like, all right, well, what is true and what is entertainment?
Yes.
But for me, when I know my truth, I ain't got no problem with you saying whatever it is because it's not affecting my life none. Right. You know what I mean? So if anything,
as a matter of fact, I'm about to have another kid since you said that.
Go ahead on. Do what you do. I ain't gonna stop you.
You end up meeting Will Smith. How did you meet Will?
That was that same vibe. So in the where I was talking about the Laugh-A-Palooza festival, that was Jamie's festival in Atlanta. Had a great set.
Okay.
Some people from his company, Overbrook, were there and present, and they were like, "Yo, you got to meet Will." Like you, and I was like, "Shoot." It was like when we get back to LA, I think they filmed the set too, and I think they showed it to Will. And I remember going in there, taking a general meeting with his executives, and he just walked in the room. And he was like, "Yo, you're hilarious." And then I was like, "Yo," and I was like, "I've always looked up to you. My first cassette was he's the DJ, I'm the rapper," like kind of just fanning out. And then I took advantage of the opportunity. I was like, man, Fresh Prince was my favorite show, so much so I wrote a show just like it. And then boom, pulled out a script.
You came prepared.
It was the loose cannon. It was pretty much me in a military school. And I had wrote it all out. And it was very kind of similar to like a Fresh Prince vibe. And they bought it right there on the spot. And I just remember like he gave me a TV deal, a record deal, and put me in my first movie, man. Like, and it just looked out for me. Just, I guess, you know, just one artist looking out for another. And he saw I was a young dude that had talent. I remember we shot the pilot. And I remember him, Quincy Jones was there. Like I was living a dream. Our showrunner was also, you know, the showrunner who, created the Jamie Foxx show. So it was all full circle. We was off it like Bentley Kyle Evans was looking out for me. And I'm like, man, the way it was supposed to be slated, because it was when the WB was popping, my show, because the Jamie Foxx show was kind of ending. So my show was gonna kind of come on after the Jamie Foxx show and then ultimately take that slot.
Right.
And then the whole company shifted and they went from not doing so much black content to like the WB and the CW that we know today. But that was my closest step to I've made it.
Right.
And then when that didn't happen, that's when I was like, I don't care about making it no more. And I was like, I'd rather enjoy the journey because I was so heartbroken at that show. I was still a teenager.
You're so close.
Yeah, I was 18, 19 years old. And like, I'm the next one. You know what I mean? I'm the next Chris Tucker, Eddie Murphy. Like, I'm that guy. And then when they snatch that from you just as fast as they gave it to you, it crushes you. And I didn't really have nothing to relate it to other than the people that, you know, had gone through it before. So I was like, I just stay focused, keep my head straight.
Did it ever bother you that you were compared to a Will Smith earlier in your career?
Ignorantly. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like because I wanted to be
your own person.
Like I think I even like, I was like, I don't want to be the next Will Smith. I want to be the first NickCannon. Like that, I would constantly say that as a young man. But it was an honor to have that like superstar energy as your mentor.
Correct.
You know, so I was around, you know, all during the heyday of like the Men in Blacks and the like just the biggest movie when he was Independence Day, Big Willie weekend was like 4th of July. He was the biggest star in the world. And he kind of just took me along for the ride and allowed me to see, you know, he's selling 10 million records and 100 million box office. I had never seen anything like it. So I was like, if there's somebody to say, to emulate, that's who you want to emulate.
He's still the first rapper. He's the first rapper to win a Grammy.
Yeah.
People don't know that.
Yeah. I mean, and then boycotted it because they disrespected hip hop in general. Like, I mean, super solid, always been solid. I had nothing but great words to say about that man.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party because you know we like to do something before 2 something.